Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Nice Guys and Players Anniversary. Yeah, y'all. Nice Guys and Players. The book that put me on the map. You know what? 17 years ago today, Nice Guys and Players was published, got it from the printer, and it was actually, yeah, that day, and I think the next day, which was actually the 24th, was the first time I started selling the book, right? And, you know Uncle Rom got a story. Yeah, because it was interesting. I took it to this singles party. And it was at a private home, and they had a few. I was selling some books. They had a woman doing massage therapy, and I forgot what the other person was doing. And while they had the party downstairs, now they had us upstairs in some empty bedrooms. So I had my stuff set up in this bedroom and everything, and that was an interesting time. I'd go downstairs every now and then to check out the party. Which I should have known something was up with male-female relationships then, because there were a lot of women sitting around, a lot of sisters sitting around, and the brothers weren't trying to holler at them, but they were in line for this Hispanic woman that was there. I should have known something was up there. And of course I got a story about that Hispanic woman. But yeah, the book came out 17 years ago today, and at that party, I sold 7 books, and it was interesting, the conversations I had, because I had this one dude. I mean, he was just straight hating. He was coming up there, checking out the book, telling me all this stuff, and it was like, you ain't gonna sell no books doing stuff like this. And I just looked at him. I said, yeah, I think I'll be all right, dude. That was like 20,000 copies in print. Those first 7, there's like 20,000 copies in print now. Probably more than that now that I think about it. I had to reprint them so many times and stuff. But check it out. I mean, he was telling me all this. He was telling me this, like, yeah, you should have your books here, and I'll be impressed when I see your books in Barnes and Noble. And I just looked at him, and then I just calmly said to him, I said, dude, I just got them from the printer yesterday. And, his little bama ass slinked away and stuff, man, because it was just like, that's one thing I would find over the years. You always get somebody who really ain't in the business themselves, haven't written a book. They try and tell you how to sell stuff. And for the record, I did actually have my books in Barnes and Noble back in the day. That was him. And then you remember that Hispanic woman I told you about? She came upstairs not to buy a book, but just to hide from all the guys trying to get to her. It was a trip. We talked and stuff. Ain't wasn't nothing happening. I was married at the time, so. But yeah, that was interesting. But it was a start or something, because honestly, when I first published the book, I didn't really have any idea where it would go. Sometimes you have an idea. I thought I would sell it to. Honestly, I thought I would be selling it to mainly brothers back then. But ironically, the budding pickup artist community picked up on it back then. And also, one prominent writer, I'm going to give him a shout out, Alan Roger Curry. He was one of the people to pick up on it back then early, and it just got big. It just blew up. And, the rest they say is history. I was like, wow. And it was a couple years later that I wrote my next book, Sexual Chemistry. Now, Sexual Chemistry is interesting why I wrote that one, because I hadn't had a plan to write a follow-up to Nice Guys and Players, right? And You know, it's funny, just the circumstances, right? Now, I remember I was getting big with Nice Guys and Players. I was doing all these seminars. And I remember I was at this seminar in downtown DC. I've probably talked about it in different, I know I've talked about it in different videos because there was so much going on with that thing, right? So I had all these young black professionals and everything, right? And they were doing scenarios about the different characters I had, right? And they were arguing, you know how it is when black men and black women, especially if they professionals, educated, all that stuff get together. You know there's going to be some back and forth. It was a healthy back and forth, but it's still a back and forth. And I remember they did scenarios based on each of my characters, right? You know, they did the nice guy scenario. Oh, man, that was perfect. The gamesman scenario. this dude had me cracking up because he was a real player. So he was doing his thing. The masked man scenario. That was great. And then it was funny. They got to the good boss scenario and they didn't get it right. They got the other three right. They didn't get it right. Right? And then I started talking about Mr. Goodbar, and all these people are arguing. They act like I was telling them about some alien from Saturn or something. I was like, what, y'all don't have an idea about a guy that women throw themselves at? Maybe the guys didn't. I think the women were just being quiet. And I was like, I was inspired because one, they bought a lot of books, but I said, you know what, I need to do a follow-up to Nice Guys and Players. And that's when Sexual Chemistry came out, right? You know, that's when Sexual Chemistry came out. Sexual Chemistry, of course, was Nice Guys and Players level 2. And I get more into Mr. Goodbar, but I also get more into just how a man can develop his sexual aura. And it was interesting because one of the criticisms I got from Nice Guys and Players, and it wasn't so much a criticism, it was just the usual shaming thing. You know, you get some haters, they try to say, well, you know, it wasn't that deep and all of that stuff, right? So I went deep with Sexual Chemistry, and then people came back and said, man, that was just too deep. It's like, you know what, for any writers out there, you ain't gonna please everybody. They gonna come in, you could have the perfect shit, they still gonna come at you. So write what you gonna write, what's on your heart. But yeah, I came back with Sexual Chemistry, right? And that was a deep one. It didn't sell as much, well, because it was deep, because I got into some psychological stuff, you know, some deep scholarly type of stuff, right? So anyway, you know, those were the core. And of course, I've written some other stuff since then. But you know what? Nice Guys and Players, Sexual Chemistry was the core. Now, why I'm doing this? Yes, this is really the anniversary of the publication of Nice Guys and Players. Now, I actually still have copies of the latest printing, the last printing, which was a few years ago, of Nice Guys and Players and Sexual Chemistry. Like, I've been selling a lot of stuff online, and then, you know, some people would hit me up privately and say, can I get a hard copy, right? And I was just like, yeah, okay. Because apparently on Amazon, they have a copy for like $100. Now, let me be clear, because I saw a video one time, and somebody was talking about that and was complaining, but I'm like, that's not me. There's a lot of people who got copies of my book, because I had a lot of books at distributors, and then some people might have gotten a signed copy and they decide they want to sell it. You know, there's a lot of people who have the book out there. You know, like I said, the books were in Barnes and Noble. And sometimes, you know, if they don't sell after a while, they either send them back or they send them back to distributors, and the distributors will send them someplace else. So there's a lot of copies of the books out there. That copy on Amazon I keep hearing about, that's $100. That's not me. If somebody wants to pay for it, I see no parts of that money. You know, I might have gotten paid for it like years ago, to be honest. But I don't see any of that money. That's not me. But since I have so many people who want a hard copy of my books, what I'm doing, you know, and you know, to celebrate the anniversary of the publication of Nice Guys and Players, is I have signed copies of my books for sale on my website. And there's a link in the description box to take you right to the page. Basically, as long as you're in the United States, I can send you a signed copy, signed to you, personalized to you, or whoever you want me to send it to. Or, you just have to go in, pay for it, put the address, put a note saying sign it to this person, or sign it this, or it's like, yes, give me like a major message or whatever if you want to send it as a gift or something like that. Like I said, go in there. You got buttons that'll take you directly to, to pay for it and all that good stuff. And it'll be sent out. Usually, if I get something, it goes out. Depending on what time I get it, it'll go out right away. If I get something in the evening, somebody pay for it in the evening, it'll go out the next morning. If I see it in the morning, it'll, go out later that day. So check it out. Check it out. If you want a signed copy, you want a bit of history, because it's going to be a limited supply. Because once I sell out of all the hard copies I have, I'll probably do like okay, Rom's blanking for a sec. I'll probably just use a book on demand system, like just go through what I do for my other books. So these are collector's items and stuff. These are collector's items. So check it out. Definitely check it out. And for the people who've already bought, Nice Guys and Players, Sexual Chemistry, who supported that, who helped me get to a high level, I just want to just say thank you. Thank you for helping me live the dream. Like I said, when I first came out with Nice Guys and Players, I had no idea. I really had no idea where it would take me. I mean, it would be all over literally, people from all over the world have purchased the book. I mean, they still purchasing my stuff now, like, in ebook form. Like Nice Guys and Players in ebook form every single month. I have to figure out, I have to break out a currency converter to figure out, where people, figure out how to convert like some foreign currency into US dollars, figure out how much I'm going to get every single month, especially in Great Britain. Shout out to the guys in Great Britain. And like I said, right now I can only ship them in the United States because, well, shipping them overseas is a lot of money. It's not cost effective right now. Right now, if I can figure out a way to get them overseas, bring down the price, I'll do that, and I'll let people know. But right now, if you want a copy, click through that link, get a book, send it out to you. Shoot, you get it this weekend. You'll see it this week. All right. So anyway, right, just want to thank y'all for the continued support, and y'all have a great day. Peace.